Yo, you ever just be doom scrolling on YouTube all cozy and snuggled up in your bed at 3 a.m. despite having responsibilities to attend to early in the morning, and then you just run across those primitive building videos? Yeah, you know, those ones where it's some shirtless dude in shorts or a loincloth and they build a whole survival base with a swimming pool using only dirt and sticks? Like, what the f? As you're watching the video, you think to yourself, wow, there's something calming about this. Being out in nature, away from the hustle and bustle of city life, living a simple and peaceful life free from society and its expectations. And then you start dreaming of how nice it would be to escape this mundane grind of working day in and day out just so you can survive another day to do the same thing over and over again. Damn, just me? Okay. Anyways, yeah, that thought came across my mind multiple times as I was watching those primitive building videos back in 2020. Well, fast forward a couple years and apparently the universe was listening because God decided to hook me up with that sad experience. Yeah, baby. Well, at least something more realistic because let's be real, those primitive building videos are fake and my city boy ass ain't surviving 2 hours in the wilderness. Like, shoo, man. So, where did I go? I went to the motherland, the Mexico of Asia, ground zero for centuries of generational trauma, the land of people that allocated all their stats into singing, dancing, or nursing at the cost of height. Yeah. I went to the Philippines. More specifically, the countryside provinces, where it's pretty much like playing Minecraft survival in a jungle biome. How was I there? Well, I was visiting family that I haven't seen since I was 7, and now I'm 24, so all my aunts and uncles, they saw me off as a little wee child, and now I've come back as a whole grown-ass adult. So where does the primitive building come into play? Well, the Philippines, more specifically the countryside of the Philippines, is still very underdeveloped, so there are a lot of things that I had to do differently compared to the US. So there wasn't really any primitive building involved, but it's about the principle, man, the spirit of living a more primitive lifestyle. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, what kind of things did you have to do that would constitute a primitive lifestyle? Well, let's get into them. For starters, there is no AC. Yeah, houses, they did not have the structural integrity to hold AC units. The Philippines is right above the equator, so it stays around 75 to 80 degrees all year long. Plus, it is so damn humid, so throughout the day, it feels like you're slow cooking in a sauna. By the end of the day, you're all sweaty and musty and sticky, and you wish it was because you were doing jujitsu in bed with Sade. You're alone. You're just lying in bed all sticky and sweaty and musty and smelly. You're just existing and slow cooking in a sauna, not because you felt the embrace of a loved one. What the fuck? Alright, so 75 degree to 80 degree weather is not that bad, but because of the humidity, it just feels a lot worse and you're just slow cooking in a sauna. And then by the end of the day, you're feeling icky and you want to take a shower to refresh. So why not do that, right? Just go take a shower and freshen up. There ain't no showers in the countryside. Out there, we fill up a bucket with water and we use a tabo, which is like a small pail. Pay attention because this thing is important. But yeah, we use a tabo to pour water over ourselves, and that's how we would wash up. You thought you could just stand under the shower and soak for 15 minutes until you run out of hot water? Nah, we don't got hot water like that either. We have to boil hot water to mix in with that bucket of water so we aren't doing ALS ice bucket challenge every time we want to wash up. Also, you gotta be careful not to accidentally ingest any of the tap water because it's not very clean and will most likely have some amoeba or bacteria that will have you sitting on the toilet for hours at a time. Oh yeah, also there's no toilet paper. We just pull up our pants and rock our streaks with pride. Nah, I'm playing, that's disgusting. What we use is our tabo. See how versatile this wondrous invention of mankind is? So what we do is with one hand, we fetch some water using our tabo and we pour it behind us so that it pours over our cheeks and so that the water flows down the crevice like a waterfall. And with the other hand, we wipe the chocolate off. No, I'm not kidding this time. That's literally how we do it over there. Well, rather how they do it, because my weak city boy ass is not mentally resilient enough to wipe the chocolate out my ass with bare hands. When I went to the mall in the city, I bought me some tissues and yeah, that's what I would use. Now, if you're dropping a log in the public restroom out there, they don't even got tabos most of the time. So if you don't bring your own tissues with you, you're actually cooked. Speaking of cooking, I hope you know how to cook because obviously there isn't going to be any fast food out in the countryside. And even if there was, it's not like you could simply hop into your car and go to the drive-thru to pick it up. Most people out there don't even have cars. And no, there's no Uber in the countryside either. You're gonna have to stand out in the street and look for a motor cab to come pick you up. Oh, and I hope you're not a picky eater because you'll most likely be eating the same foods over and over again. We kind of just eat whatever's available. Unless there's a special event going on, that's when everyone whips out their specialties.
Yes, I'm feeling a medium rare steak with some demi-glaze sauce.
Sorry we don't have that, but we do have some fried fish with tiny ass bones that you need to remove before you eat it.
What about a juicy hamburger with fries?
If you want burgers, we do have a McDo in the city. It'll just be like a 3-hour drive from here. But yeah, I'm not a very picky eater. I mainly eat for sustenance, so I didn't have that much of an issue with food there. Matter of fact, I actually really loved the grilled fish. It was fire. But there would be occasions where I'd be too lazy to make anything, and I just wish I could pick up Cane's or Chipotle. Oh man, I miss that so much. So now that I got you thinking about food, let's talk about animals. Of course, since we are in the jungle, our humble abode would always be visited by wildlife. And it's not on some Snow White type shit. I'm talking insects, lizards, some small, some large, and mice. Yeah, let's talk about insects first. Bruh, mosquitoes are the bane of human existence, and there's a ton of them everywhere. Expect to have at least 5 different itchy bumps all throughout your body by the end of the day. Next, we got cockroaches. And these cockroaches big as shit for no reason too. Like, what? I ain't never seen a cockroach fly in the US, but out there, those motherfuckers will fly towards you on sight. I still have vivid flashbacks of when one literally flew right into my face. And best believe I saw God for a split second before I came back to my senses and smacked the shit off and hit him with a... Nah, in reality, I screamed like a bitch and it flew away. Out there, we gotta sleep with a mosquito net, which is a net that hangs over our bed so that insects don't be crawling all over us as we sleep, which is a godsend. But at the same time, there would be moments where you'd wake up and be greeted with a giant-ass cockroach just chilling on top of your mosquito net. So now you just gotta lay there as if you're being held hostage while this motherfucker stares at you like... So you guys know how there's a conspiracy theory about there being shape-shifting reptilians blending in as humans in our society? And how they're lying low, biding their time, praying for our downfall so they can strike and take over humankind? Well, it's actually real, but they're not lying low and they're not shapeshifters. Like, bruh, that's ridiculous. That's fantasy. Imagine being afraid of shape-shifting reptilians when the real threat is in the Philippines all along. And I'm talking about these motherfuckers. These monstrosities will just be chilling on your walls, minding their own business. But that's what they want you to think. These things are like ambush predators, waiting for the opportune time to strike. Whenever I see one, I will not go within a 6-foot radius of them. I calculated that to be their striking range. I call them landlords because they hold complete control over the house through sheer presence alone. Like if I need to go to the bathroom and I see one just chilling in the bathroom wall, nah, I'm out that bitch. That toilet is all yours. I'm good. I'm perfectly fine just shitting myself right here. Also, whenever I see one right above me on the ceiling, I just have this irrational fear that they'll just pull a... and then they just fucking fall on me like, oh, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And to top it off, they're big. And I say big because they're like 6 inches, which is massive. Like, that is just not favorable. That's hurting someone. Like that's huge. Shit, man, even 5 inches is enormous too. Like, nah, even 4 inches, bro. Like, that's freaking crazy if it's 4 inches. Like, you're packing with 4 inches. Alright, so those were some of the trials and tribulations I underwent in the Philippine countryside. Sounds fun, right? Being more in tune with nature, both in body and soul, living a more simplistic lifestyle in a place outside the reaches of modern day life. Hella relaxing, right? Well, it would have been had I not experienced the luxuries of a first world country. Knowledge is a curse in the sense that once you know something, you'll never be able to go back to that state of unknowing. And that was exactly what I was experiencing during my time in the Philippines. It made me realize all the little things in the US that I took for granted. AC, hot showers, snuggling in my comforters, sitting in the toilet without worrying about a lizard jumping me from above, clean tap water, quick and easy access to literally everything with a tap of your phone screen. But that's exactly why I needed this experience. Easy Times has made me grown soft, and the veil has been uncovered before me to reveal just how much more difficult people in other parts of the world have it. And I'm not just talking about the things I mentioned in this video. Those were just bits to keep you entertained long enough so I can bring it back full circle and talk about more serious business. And clearly it worked. There are people out there with a far significantly lower quality of life who are just moving along one step at a time in hopes that one day they will finally have the resources they need to see a brighter tomorrow. And that made me realize just how blessed I am to be in the position I'm in now. That isn't to say that my problems have been invalidated. Everyone's got their own fair share of hardships and demons they have to face, and they're all valid. But it's more so that I've come to terms with my demons as the price I pay for better opportunities. Instead of escaping from reality and wallowing in my own misery, thinking, why is this happening to me? I instead see the suffering as the process to become a greater version of myself. Because at the end of the day, When the time comes for me to head out, I want to look back at my life and be proud of the things I've done. Anyways, once I got back to the US, the first thing I did was enact unspeakable war crimes in the comforts of my private toilet. And then I partook in some good old greasy, calorie-dense, deep-fried food. And man, did I shed a tear from how hyper-palatable it was. God bless America. The first shower I took, I felt like an angel descended from heaven and gave me a warm embrace. And when I climbed onto my bed and snuggled into my comforters because of how cold it was, I reflected back on my experiences in the Philippines province. Thank you for humbling me, Philippines. It was a great learning experience.